Well, hello, and welcome back. Tonight we are talking about arguments in Bash, specifically how everything that you type in a terminal, which I'll bring up here, is either an argument or whitespace. And if we want whitespace in an argument, we have to either escape it or quote it. So we're talking about arguments, quotes, and escapes. Now, for those of you that are joining in live, I've got my YouTube comments open. So if you look in the link in the description for the live stream, you can head on over there and watch me now and be able to interact with comments and questions. If you are not watching live, then you'll also want to take a look in the description so that you can see the edited video that may have any of the bloopers or whoopsies removed. With that out of the way, I'll go ahead and get us started. Well, hello, and welcome back. Tonight we're talking about Bash. Specifically, we're talking about how everything in Bash is an argument. All commands that you type are arguments, and everything that you type is all arguments. And if you want any spaces or special characters in those arguments, they need to be quoted or escaped. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Now go ahead and head on over to just.github.com so that you can take notes and keep track of anything that you learn, put it on your blog, which is going to help build up your portfolio. And if at any point you have that aha moment, go ahead and give this a like and put a timecode link in the comments saying what it was that worked for you, or you can say what didn't work for you just as well. So I'm going to use a command that I try to avoid using, which is echo. And I just want to show you what this does. Whatever arguments you give it, it prints out all of them except for the first. Okay, so if I give it the arguments A, B, C, D, what do you think it's going to print out? Hopefully you guessed A, B, C, D. I said it prints out all of them except for the first. Every command in Bash receives all arguments that you type, including the name of the command itself. Generally, they all ignore that. Bash evaluates everything that you type based on whitespace. So I can put whitespace, it'll get ignored. I can put echo. I can't put echo ABCD because it would look for a command called ABCD. And then we'd get told there is no command called ABCD. When I put a space, now you saw the color change from red, meaning that it wouldn't be able, that whatever I was about to do probably wouldn't work, to it changing to the colors I have in my color theme. And because I'm actually using fish, but for all intents and purposes, what we're talking about, Bash, applies equally well to fish in this case. So two different shells, one's a little nicer, but here we are. If I hit enter now, how many arguments are there to Bash? There's 2. How many are there to echo? There's 2. How many does echo print out? Just 1. So let's go back and do this again where we have echo, put some spaces, A, B, C, D. Echo is going to receive, whoops, I actually wanted a lowercase d there. 1, 2, 3, 4 arguments, and it prints them out with a single space in between them. So what if I wanted to print out literally A with 4 spaces, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then B with 4 spaces, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C 4 spaces, and then D 4 spaces. If I wanted to print this out literally, then I just need to put it in single quotes. And if I print that out, then echo receives 1 argument, which is the entire string of ABCD. If we want to put spaces in front, we can do that. ABCD. And also, we can put another quote. Let's go back here. We could end this first ABCD, and then we could actually put another quote and begin it again. And in this case, it's still just 1 argument. Now that might seem a little bit silly, but let me show you why. Let's say that I echo out hello, or how about hello world? And then I want to put something that has a single quote in it. Let's say it's me. Now in this case, I don't want to make these separate. I don't want to have 2 arguments or 3 arguments where there's hello world and it's me. I want to be able to have just this apostrophe. So everything inside of single quotes is taken literally. Everything. No exceptions. So if I want to have a single quote, I have to end my quote. I have to use a backslash as an escape, which is very common among all sorts of programming and scripting and formatting languages. And then I put another quote to start it again. So what this reads as is one single argument, but there's no space. The next character is an escape, which means that the next character is going to be ignored if it has special meaning. The special meaning of a quote, a single quote, is to put everything inside of it exactly literal. But since it's escaped, it means that it's not going to do that. It's going to act as a quote. And then we have another quote. Again, there's no space here. So it cannot be an argument. It can only be a separate argument if there's a space. And then we have the rest of the phrase. And so when we print it out, we get hello, it's me. Now there's another way to do this, for which I'm going to invite my good friend printf to the stage. So printf has a very special option, %q, and if we printf %q and then give it a single argument, it will print out what that argument looks like completely escaped in bash. So we go ahead and do this. Actually, I'm going to have to go into real bash for this. Give me just a moment. I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to type bash to go into real bash. And then I'm going to run that command. Oh, where did it go? Let me exit back out of here, run that again, go back into bash. Okay, here we are. So I actually need to be a real bash for this because the fish printf apparently is wrong. There we go. Whoops. And let me also add, let me clear this out. Sorry about that. I'm going to go add a new line to this. Don't worry about that too much right now. I just want to show you. This is what that string looks like if instead of using quotes, we use escapes, because we use quotes or escapes. So if I want to do this, actually, let me go ahead. I need to put some extra spaces in here. Okay. So this is what it looks like if instead of using quotes, we just escape the spaces and the special characters. So then I could run echo like this and see it keeps all of the spaces. So you either have to quote something or you have to use quotes around it. Single quotes are literal. Double quotes are a little more tricky. We'll go into that later. But inside of double quotes, you can have variables, you can have subshells, you can have special meanings of characters. So when we want something to be literal, we either have to use escapes or use quotes. And you're going to run into problems with quotes, and you're going to run into problems with double quotes because there's special characters inside. I'll give you an example. Let's say we want to say hello world. Oh, that one happened to work. Let's say give me the money. Well, that certainly was unexpected. I misspelled money twice in a row. No, wait, that's not what was unexpected. What was unexpected is that instead of dollar signs, we got a number. And we'll go into that later, but I just want to show there's one thing where you'll run into issues, and another thing where you'll run into issues is, let's say that I did the hello, it's me, and I hit enter. Notice how now there's a caret there. I hit enter, enter, enter. What's going on? What's wrong? Well, what did I do? I entered a single quote, which is going to treat everything literally, and then I put new lines. And a new line is a character in the same way that the letter A is a character. So it's waiting for me to end my single quote. And when I do, boom, it prints out, hello, it's me, and then all of the new lines that I put in. But you'll notice it's missing the single quote because I started a single quote here and I ended it here. And you can start a single quote in the middle of an argument. If that argument doesn't have quotes around it, then it's going to treat that single quote as a continuation of the argument because it's not a space. So if we went back to this, we could do hello, it's me. And here's something else that we can do. We can escape new lines as well. So let's do this. Hello, it's me. Can you hear me? Let's say we want that to all be one line. And I'm not sure whether or not the question mark is special. I don't remember. So I am going to put that in single quotes. And we could go to town on this. We really could. And I'm going to hit enter. And because I put a backslash before I put a new line, it's not going to treat a new line as a new line. And so you can see that it gets rid of the new line and instead puts everything on one line. So I know that it is confusing to see so many quotes and so many backslashes. The point is just to be careful and cautious how you enter in arguments on the command line, because the only thing that separates them is whitespace. And anytime you're using a quote, it negates the white space. And even if you're using a quote in the middle of something, it still counts as part of that something. So, with that out of the way, I hope that you learned something. If you had an aha moment or this was useful for you, cleared up some of the errors that you had in the past, go ahead and give this a like and subscribe either to the live channel or the Beyond Code Bootcamp playlist channel, whichever you prefer, or both. And I will catch you next time. Oh, and don't forget to hit the bell. All right. Adios.